Welcome to the Texas Truck Channel. I'm Craig.
And I'm Brian.
And Brian, we've got our long-termer.
It's time for our first road test on the Tacoma, and it's our Tacoma. If you've been following, we've done our introduction on this, the handoff from the previous show truck, the Gladiator, to this TRD off-road Tacoma. And also we've already done our off-road standardized testing. Today we're going to do our review of the interior, exterior, showing you all those tidbits, and also the road test, which includes 0 to 60 timing. I'm really excited about that. No one's really done that yet, and we're kind of just past the braking period enough that we can actually get on this thing and really get after it. So let's start with the looks, Craig. Out front, we've had it for about a week now, and I've decided that it's just a baby Tundra in the best way possible. I don't mean that negatively. And I think the proportions are better here than on the Tundra. The Tundra is so wide. Like when they do the Toyota, words here instead of the logo on the Tundra, it gets too wide. Taco has an option to keep them close together. I like that a lot. Ours is silver. It has a blackout package, which is a $350 option, which I think you must get on this truck because it makes this not chrome, makes it black, the door emblems, things like that. And it ties together the black grille, the lower valence, and vents and things like that. I like that a lot. Now, our headlights say Tacoma right here in them, but we noticed recently at the Chicago Auto Show that the Pro and Trail Hunters say TRD Pro or Trail Hunter there. So ours is a little bit different. We get the standard light. Also, we don't get the rigid lights that the TRD Pro and Trail Hunter get, but man, they seem to be identical other than going to amber when you hit a button. And they seem to be great at night. I play with them in the dark. They are highly effective, so they get the job done. Black valence coming down here. We've done this, plastic, 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 and eventually metal, but very thin metal. So we're looking to figure out how to make that thicker for us. So we've talked to some aftermarket brands that are working on them now. Downside is this thing is so new, there's not much on the market for it. In fact, there's really nothing on the market for it. So stay tuned for mods as they become available. Let's talk about wheel and tire. We got to go around to the driver's side here. Oh baby, Craig, I like these wheels. I've already seen comments on our videos of, oh, I love those new wheels, or I hate them. Didn't realize they're so polarized. To me, they're obviously brilliant. I'm happy with them. So you have a machined lip on the outside. We've already got some good brake discs going, and you've got a flat black paint in the middle that matches the red over black TRD cap. It's just a good, clean look to me. I'm okay with it, no big deal. One of my favorite parts though, Craig, is this looks like the older TRD optional wheel that had a fake bead lock on the FJ Cruisers. It looks like that minus the bead lock. That's a positive to me. Additionally, it's a 17-inch tire, not an 18 like the Trail Hunter and TRD Pro, which gives you this big, beefy sidewall that's just ready to absorb impacts. Really happy with that. Okay, tires wrapped around them are the BF Goodrich Terrain TAs. They're 265 70/17s. Pretty common size, a lot of options to go around on it. This is not an aggressive all-terrain. This is kind of like a hybrid highway all-terrain tire. It's going to do good in dirt. Think of like a Geolander AT tire. I think it's kind of in that neighborhood, maybe slightly less aggressive, but it looks cool and the big blocking lettering is good. Up front, we have a steel upper control arm instead of the billet that you get on the higher trim vehicles, which aren't available yet. But we do have a Bilstein painted in red shock absorber. The big deal here is these shock absorbers are 46 mil instead of 36 mil on the piston themselves. That's something that Toyota's taken a long time to get there. All the previous Tacomas had a smaller diameter shock. This also has a piggyback reservoir on all four corners, which is really good. It makes valving have more options, and also the fluid is basically double the capacity, which helps with heat dissipation. So washboard roads for long periods of time, this thing is not going to fade away. That's really cool. Can't wait to do some of that testing. Craig will be the guy for that because he loves to drive dirt roads to work. So looking forward to that. Mirror, not a tow mirror here, good. Does have lane departure warning in it. We do have a lot of the TSS 3.0 safety suite comes standard on this truck, which means standard high beams, lane departure, self-driving highway stuff, radar cruise control, all the stuff you really want. I love that. All right, check out this doorknob, Craig. This looks like a flat black plastic, like the cheapest handle possible, but it's the passive entry one. I didn't know that. We were surprised by that after we bought it. And again, they've gone the way of Ford has done for years, and now Toyota, stick your hand in and unlocks. There's no Hyundai style button. Good job, Toyota. I like that a lot. Down here, Craig, point of contention for both of us. These are the optional, which we were stuck with them because the truck had them on there. $745 Predator steps. Some people are going to love these things because I don't know why, to be honest with you. This truck's not that tall, but okay. You've got steps for those that want it. They're not too far out, but they are out far enough. They look like if you get on angle on off-road obstacles, these are going to get ripped off pretty quick. We've already committed to sawzalling these off if we need to. So just know that. We do have a good rail right here, but keep in mind, these steps are going to be sacrificed before this is actually a rock rail, and these are body mounted, not frame mounted. So they're only going to do so much before the floorboard takes some damage as well. Coming on down, fuel door check, Craig. It's time. We knew it. It's not capless. That's not news. Big deal. But it does have, I think, the best holder on any cap system we've had, for sure.
And no premium recommendations.
No recommendations. But it is a non-E85 fuel system, so keep that in mind too. It's not going to be flex fuel out of the gate. Out back, oh boy, this is a big deal. Because we got the TRD off-road, we get the coil rear suspension. It's a 5-link. You've got upper and lower trailing arms and a track bar, or some would call a panhard bar, which controls the side-to-side movement. Leaf spring vehicles, the spring itself centers the diff in relation to the frame. This has an actual track bar because coils kind of do this little game, triangulates it. It rides great. It rides great. I don't know what to say about it. Happy with it so far. Coming around the corner, we do have the optional black chrome exhaust tip, which we paid $130 for to get. And that came with the truck as a spec. Let's see what it sounds like. Well, I don't know about out here, but inside that sounds pretty boring. What does it sound like to you, Craig?
Pretty boring.
Okay, Sew Machine, vacuum, they're all in the same neighborhood, but non-hybrid, I do like that a lot. It's a traditional Turbo 4, and we'll see how fast it is on the road. A couple things up back before we get to the powertrain, Craig. Right here, buddy. All Tacomas get this. This is a high lift jack point. That is so cool, and it's tied into actually the same metal for this hitch, which is good to tow. I think it's 6,600 pounds. We'll put that down below if that's off. But that's pretty beefy, and this is also a recovery point here, right in the middle. So you've got good strong points and a high lift jack on each side. So all those dudes with their farm jacks on the hood of their Jeeps can finally do something with it. Glad to hear that. Let's hop under the hood. Time for the updates under the hood, Craig. Oh, we've got a steel hood, and we definitely don't have dampers. There we go. We've got two mounts though. You've got one that is real low and one that's just low. So you have options
exactly
for
the
both.
settings.
So it's like either way, you're gonna hit your head. It's not a Jeep. We're so spoiled by the Gladiator, we just flip it back and had all the room in the world. Good news is it still does articulate really high. So if you want to make your own prop rod, I guess you could do that. Talk about power. 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, no hybrid, paired to an 8-speed automatic. This is all new for Tacoma. And boy, was it ready for it. I don't know that the V6 was the problem last time so much as the gearing associated with it, but this does not suffer any issues with gearing. We can report that. 80 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM, cruise is locked, never hunting for gears like the old 6-speed was, and way more refined because of that. This thing is just, it's just more capable because of it. So all those that missed the V6, man, I hear you. The V6 was a great engine. I actually liked it a lot. This is a better package. It just is. Skid 4, 278 horsepower with the auto. It's 270 with the manual, which is not really out yet. And 317 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty good out of a 2.4 liter. I can't wait till someone tunes this thing and really cranks it up. Let's check out the interior before we get too wet.
All right, Brian, time to check out the bed and the interior of our long-termer Tacoma. First off, let's get in and, well,
we didn't get that package.
We get the TRD off-road. Doesn't have that package. Honestly, this is the way we would spec it. I mean, it would be nice to have that, but who knows? Maybe it'll be an aftermarket deal.
It's optional on the off-road. We just didn't get it.
Okay, I've got it locked because it does lock. I do like that. Actually, that's some good functionality because if you have a cap on it, it's lockable. Unlocked, and we open it up, and it's dampened. Still a little stiff. It's still pretty new. This may be the second time we've opened it, honestly. So
yeah, that's the second time it's stuck.
You've seen them both on camera. It's also the second time it's stuck. And I think it might have to do with this actual spray-in bed liner that came from Toyota, which is making it a little bit more of a tighter fit than normal. That's why it's sticking just a tad. Over time, that'll go away. Let's jump in here real quick, though. Brian, I want to show off some of the stuff in the bed. We do get these rails. We don't have any cleats in them. We could add some.
We have them under the seat in the back. I found them the other day.
Correction, we have them. They're under the seat in the back. Good on the front and the sides like that. We do get the LED lighting, and I know this is a composite bed, but I like the spray and bed liner. It just kind of solves a lot of things, even rattles, although maybe there's one. We do get cleats to tie things down here in the front and in the back. I wish they were on the sides, but it's fine there. That's pretty much it. Let's go to the interior. All right, Brian, it's time to get to the interior. Let's check out the door. The window sill is not padded in the rear. We'll check the front in a minute and see if it is. The armrest itself is still not padded.
Okay.
That's okay. The door pull does not go through, so you can actually put a phone in there. Very nice. And the water bottle holder is nice as well. Plenty of room for big, large water bottles. That's convenient because you're going to do a lot of off-road stuff and you're going to be out in the wilderness and the forest and the hiking. You need a lot of water.
Yep.
All right, Brian, plenty of room for storage. We think this is a non-hybrid. Let's see what we get. Pull it up. Look at this.
Boys,
Look at this.
It fits.
I just put my backpack there. I put it down. easy peasy.
Love that.
60-40 split. I actually love that part of it.
Big fan of that.
Brian, let's pull down the armrest here.
Wait.
Oh, no armrest. Let me adjust the vents. Nope, no vents.
Okay.
But I do get cup holders back here. I do like that. None of the other mid-sizers have that. That's kind of like a full-size trick there. That's convenient. I do get the traditional charging port. I don't get any USB-C. Interesting that's not there. Do get a mat pocket on the passenger side.
Hang on, do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's the keyboards. You hear them clicking? They're already going to call us haters. Oh, you're hating on it. Doesn't have an armrest. It's very C. We don't hate it that much. We bought the damn truck. So just keep that in mind. Can I show them how this folds?
Yeah.
Let me put the seat forward. Okay, Craig showed you the
Fold it up. Let's fold it down now.
Let's fold it down now. It does fold
look
flat.
at that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's actually flat, so you can actually put stuff back there.
Right.
Who knows, camping, whatever.
Totally. Good options there. You have a full-size jack back here and jack handles and a full-size spare in the rear. Even though it's a different tire type, it's the same height and it's on a donut. That's nice.
Last but not least, Brian, we do not have a moonroof up front. They don't have a panoramic option, and we don't have the split rear window. But all this means, Brian, you might fit. Get in here.
Let's do it. Now, I'm cheating a little bit because the front seat is really far forward, but...
All right, now, this is important because you're 6'4".
In the torso, mostly. Yeah, it fits.
Look at that. That works. There's not a lot of mid-sized trucks you fit in, Brian, and you fit. There's full-size trucks you don't fit in. You fit in this one.
That's incredible. Really pleased with that. Everyone said it. We'll reiterate. The legroom is still a problem back here, and that's something the Gladiator was definitely better at, and the Ranger's probably still a little better than that at it. But in a pinch, 4 adults can go to lunch.
All right, to the front. All right, moving on to the front. The first thing I'm going to point out is this Predator step is nice and convenient. You know, although not really needed, it's also too far forward. So I step in and it's just, I'm too far forward in the cab. That's an interesting thing and a minor quibble. Also, let's point out payload real quick. Check that, 1,200 pounds.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's definitely better than the outgoing model.
Yeah.
So a little bit better, although not as high as some Rangers out there, but definitely better. Let's check out the door, the window sill, see if it's padded. Nope, not padded. That's just this particular trim. Maybe the upper trims will have that. The armrest itself, though, is padded, unlike the back. The door pull does go through, but there's plenty of room to put your cell phone and any other gear and water bottles. All right, Brian, before I hand the camera over to you, we got some dots over here. It's interesting. What do you think that is?
Not Braille, I know that for sure.
That's correct. It's not Braille. It's
Blind
Morse
people
code.
can't drive, Craig.
Accessory ready. Interesting because you open it up and it's just a hole. But
yeah,
more on that later.
There's Morse code for accessory ready. That's cool.
Brian, show the little carpet there.
Oh, yeah.
I like it that it says Tacoma TRD Off-Road. You get a specific carpet for your trim.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Starting your way, come in my direction. We get the little panel hill or shelf. I like that. Look, car manufacturers, this is a PSA. Listen, do that. Do that in every car, every trim, every model. There's no reason not to do that. Right. You do get a little charging port over there. That's very nice. Ergonomics, Brian, let's just, in general, better. They're better. Everything's where it should be. The seating position's higher, more upright, more normal, more truck-like. A lot of people didn't like that in the old Tacoma. That's solved here. You get really big dials for HVAC controls. I love that. It's not buried in the menu screen. You can actually reach everything and see it. I don't like that it's not married to the old volume knob. This looks like a volume knob from a Toyota in 1998, and well, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you still get a volume knob. You don't get a tuning knob. Like, one more knob wouldn't hurt. You know, I don't know. Too much trouble there. You don't get wireless charging in this particular trim, but you do get great holders for your cell phones. One for the passenger and one for the driver. So that's very nice and very convenient.
You may not notice, Craig, but there's a purse holder here as well.
Purse holder or a backpack holder?
Not to be sexist.
Yes, USB-C charging, both in 2 ports there. We get a little bin there down below, and we get 2 cup holders. You would think there'd be more, but it's okay. Remember, we still got those in the back.
That's nice, yeah.
All these blank buttons, who cares? You don't need the blank buttons, you just need that. Rear locker, that's the most important thing. Let's move over to the drive mode dial here.
Can I point something out here?
Yes, please do.
I verified yesterday, we looked at a bunch of we were in Chicago yesterday at the auto show. We looked at a bunch of prototype Tacomas, and they had 2 high on the left and 4 low on the right. We're in a production one now, and they've moved it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting notice there.
Interesting change they've made there for the final product. So be curious to see if other products are different with the TRD Off-Roader. Anyways, we do get crawl control and downhill assist control. We get multi-terrain select. You have to be in 4 low for that, Brian. Sadly, we've already figured that one out. Drive modes, you get sport, normal, and eco. I can report in eco, I got 22.2 miles per gallon driving home from the airport from the Chicago Auto Show last night. Not bad.
bad.
Not bad at all.
Stay tuned for an MPG episode. We're going to get real technical on that one down the road.
You do get the hold control, so if you're at a stop, it'll just hold the brake for you. That's nice. Electronic parking brake. No old school parking brake anymore. And Brian, you know, there's another button that's missing here. I don't see it anywhere, and I'm very happy. Auto start stop is not on this thing. Yes. Thank you. We don't need that. Come on. You know. And I noticed Toyota doesn't do that in a lot of cars unless it's a hybrid model.
Yeah.
All right, let's start this bad boy up. It's almost like Toyota knows it's not good for the car.
Reliability.
All right, let's start it up and let's see what we get here. I do like the gauge clusters here a lot. You know, a little beep is this stupid thing. This is not an option we would have gotten. That's a dash cam that came with this.
Yeah.
We paid for it, something for it.
500 bucks.
500 bucks, great. It beeps when you hit bumps real hard, I'll already tell you that.
Well, it triggers as a collision.
So, gauge, I've got it set in the single cluster now. You can get it in the dual cluster. So, let's see if I can, well, I'll show you that real quick. You hit this button here, you toggle left or right, and you can change, you got different settings. You got one, page 2, page 3, page 1, set up for different things and modes you're trying to do. Hold down the OK button, and you can go down to all kinds of different options. Let's go down to settings, and hit OK again. We go down, keep scrolling down to meter settings, hold the OK button, and check this out, meter type. We hit that button, and we can get, look, a single dial. We can get kind of a calm dial with nothing.
Just speed in the middle.
And then we can get the traditional dual dials. I like that a lot. And then the other thing we can get, Brian, let's change that. Okay, we did change it. Let's go down to meter style. I like the way they've named these. Casual, which kind of looks less casual than smart, but then there's smart, which is more of a clean, very modern, but it's a crisp design. It doesn't look goofy. I like it.
True.
There's tough for the manly people. It looks like gears. I don't know. I love that it's called tough.
It's like internal cogs.
It's called tough.
It's like an oil pump gear.
That's the name of it.
I like it.
All right, and then we get sporty. So,
okay.
Which does look sporty. I'll give it that. So over here we get plenty of blank buttons. Maybe that'll have something to do with the accessory ready. Who knows, Brian? Overall, though, here's what I've noticed driving this. Quality, reliability, durability. These may not be the most expensive materials, but they feel like they're going to last. The plastic edges are finished. Yeah. Nothing's going to cut you.
This handle's incredibly tight.
Yes. Yeah, there's
Broncos.
Broncos, that's a little more flimsy. Yeah. Cybertrucks, things will cut you. Other plastic trims will cut you. Yes. Yeah. This doesn't, everything's finished here. Yep. Enough of that, though. 0 to 60 time.
Love it.
All right, Brian, we're in our long-term Tacoma TRD off-road. It is time to do some 0 to 60 times. This is what people want to know, because now, which powertrain we have? We have the 4-cylinder, non-hybrid.
Correct. 8-speed auto with a 353 gear ratio in it.
All right,
which is what they all have. So
I think it's time to just hit it, and we've got some numbers from our previous TRD off-road, very similar comparison spec, just previous generation. So
we'll talk about that after we hit this. It's in sport mode and 4 high because it's wet outside. We're gonna load the boost. Gets to about 5 PSI and dump it.
Oh! Okay, launch. And 60 with me in the vehicle, 8.18. I can go ahead and tell you, Brian, 2 things. 1, we only have 350 miles on the truck. It's still not maybe broke in. Maybe there's some limitations in there.
It needs ECU tuning. Maybe it feels like there might be.
Maybe, we're not sure.
For sure. Yeah.
But also, Brian, our previous Tacoma, the previous generation Tacoma we tested, TRD off-road, similar spec.
V6 automatic.
Yep. Was only, its best run was 8.47.
Okay.
So with me in the car, we got 8.18. What did you get without me in the car, best run?
7.51.
Wow.
Not too bad.
That's
so
pretty good.
Full second off.
Wow.
Or just shy of. Technically just shy of. That's an improvement. I don't care how you look at it. It doesn't feel fast to me, which is kind of annoying because I feel like turbos should be really, it feels like it's pulling timing all the time.
And maybe that'll change.
And I think that's part because we're in the break-in period. Hopefully as it breaks in, it loosens up a little bit, gets a little happier. But man, objectively, second off's good.
Objectively, a full second faster than the previous generation 6-cylinder that everybody loved, and we did too, by the way. Yeah. That's impressive. That's a lot. And
I think that's, again, this is kind of a thrashy 4-banger. It's not we'll get into that in a minute, I'm sure. The V6 was a ripper.
Yep.
but the horsepower number is virtually the same, but the torque is 50 more out of this. That's what we're feeling here.
Well, two things. You get way more torque, like you're saying, and the 8-speed is making a huge difference.
Good point. That's a massive, massive difference. So, wow, impressed with that. Let's get in ride and drive like we normally do.
Well, let's talk about the thrashiness of the motor, because I think that was
you want to skip that? Okay,
so,
great.
well, the 2GR, which we loved, was near and dear to our hearts, was super smooth.
Yes, velvet.
Sounded great.
Velvet. So good, Lotus used it in their supercars.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not that.
This is nowhere near that in terms of refinement and noise.
It makes a lot of noises.
Not not too many in the cab. It's not that bad in here.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. There's not, look, Toyota's, but in the Tundra they've overdid it with the fake V8 sounds in the cab.
Right.
You get none of that here.
I love that.
At least in this particular trim.
I love that there's no fake engine noise coming in here. It's great.
So, but you do hear some noise. You hear the turbo noises, which are kind of nice.
You hear little turbo noises. I want to compare this to Chevy's 2.7 4-cylinder.
And I keep thinking of that as we drive
do you?
it. Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So they feel very similar in power, although the Chevy feels like it's not pulling timing as much. And it might be because that was a broken unit.
Could be.
We're going to just kind of leave that there. We'll report back because we own this for a while. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
Point being is that sounds way more thrashy from inside the cab.
True, it does.
Outside the cab, it sounds like a 2JZ inline 6 from Toyota because the turbo goes whoosh. This turbo outside is a lot quieter and it sounds noisy as hell outside.
It's noisy.
Kind of flip-flop, right?
Yeah. Ride and drive, Brian. I think the coil suspension is definitely helping us.
For sure.
It rides well. I think
refined.
it rides more refined, yes, than the previous generation. It does still ride like a truck, though. Don't think it's going to ride like a Cadillac.
No, not at all. But it's not. I haven't smoked coffee yet.
Fair.
And that's huge praise.
That said, though, the Ranger trimmer with Fox shocks and leaf springs rides better.
Interesting. Okay, well, I think that's about it for now. We're going to have a lot more content on this. It's probably a long video anyways. Let us know what we missed. You want to know about it later because we'll have it for a while. We can film more things, and we're going to do all kinds of stuff. We're planning dyno videos, mile per gallon videos, tone videos, all the things like that. Let us know. We're open to it.
And there's our action cam. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.